Whenever I see a creator, for example, talking about phalloplasty or metoidoplasty or whatever, there's bound to be quite a lot of comments in the comment section that's basically like saying something along the lines of, "Oh, phalloplasty looks just like a meat tube."
Once you completely heal, is the chance of necrosis over with? No. So if you wear tight underwear and you lose blood flow down there, you could still die.
Warning, this is going to be a heavy one.
I'm gonna be the first to talk about it. I mean, I really don't know if a lot of you trans really talk about it. But surgery, after surgery, that was the worst pain of my life. I'm not gonna lie to nobody. Man, I went home and questioned myself. My life. What the hell did I do to my body? Like, y'all gotta understand, you dealing with bottom half, you dealing with your arm, you dealing with another piece of skin graft they take to put on your arm. Like, for a lot of y'all people.
Welcome back. Before I move forward, I just want to say this. I make these videos because I care. I care about the trans male community. I care about young people. I care about making choices that are irreversible. I care when I see information being put out that I consider to be misinformation or on some level hiding what's really the truth. Now, that being said, if you choose to have these kinds of surgeries, more power to you, friend. But I also want to let you know that I disagree with this surgery. And I believe that it is not helping, nor does it help, in my opinion. I have seen more negative in my lifetime of transition than I have seen positive. On TikTok, it's very hard to find people actually talking about this, the pain, what you have to deal with, all the things. All you see is trans joy, and this is great. And I believe that that's happening because they don't want to say it. Because when you say things against the trans community, like as I do, you get piled on. And I'm 63. I can handle it. I've been doing this stuff for a long time. I don't care. I'm not a part of any community. But that being said, a lot of these young people, they need community. They need to feel part of. So I know why a lot of these guys are more like, it's just a little pain, or it's just this, or I'm only going in my 7th surgery, as if that's completely okay. And I only have this huge scar on my arm, and so forth and so on. So I'm bringing this to you not because I hate you, but because I care about you, and because I care about the future of transsexuals getting things they need to move forward. I don't necessarily believe you need to have this particular surgery in order to move forward in your life, and I've proven that. And so I want to give the other side of the coin, but I want to show you why I believe these things are not something that should be so easily done, and that more and more young trans men, female to male, are getting these surgeries. What happens when you decide you made the wrong choice? As we know, this is happening. Okay, it's bad enough with chest surgery, but with bottom surgery, there are so many insane complications that these people just don't want to talk about. So with that, thanks so much for hitting the subscribe button and the like button and the comments. And this is going to be a difficult one today, but know that I do it out of love and respect and not out of hate. Okay, so with that, let's get into this next one.
So I finally got the pump last November, and it was amazing. Emphasis on was, I had it in for like a month, and right before I was supposed to leave, I got at the end of November, I was supposed to be able to return to work in January, but I ended up getting a really bad infection, and they had to take out the pump. And now I have to wait a year before I get it again. It was a long process. It was pretty grueling, but I think it was worth it. I mean, ideally, I would like to have not had the infection and lost the pump. Anyway, prior to getting the pump, I already had a lot of feeling in my phallus, and then once my doctor put the pump in, the feeling was even more intense in the best possible way, because what he did was he took the pump, he anchored it directly to my pubic bone, which made the feeling even more intense, but in a really good way. I only got to try the pump out a few times before they removed it. I don't even know if I was supposed to try it. It was really cool. In order to inflate it, you have a pump, and it's in one of your balls, and it's pretty easy to do. You just press it a few times, and then right above it is another, like, kind of like a button where you press it and you hold it down to release all of the air that had been inflated. It was really easy to do. It wasn't painful at all. When I first got the surgery done, it was...
But now you don't have it. You don't have it. You only had it for a little bit, and then you got an infection, and now you don't have it. But I really want to know is, because you don't talk about it, what happens now that you don't have it? And all of those major surgeries that you just had on your bottom half, okay? What happens now? This is the part that nobody's talking about. That's so upsetting to me. All they're talking about is, I got this thing, it made me feel good for a little while, then it got an infection, and now I don't have it, but wow, was it good? Like, was it really worth all of the insanity I'm going to show you right now for that couple seconds of pleasure? Like, I have pleasure. I have a lot of pleasure. I don't have any of those surgeries. Okay. And it's why I keep wanting to show you that you don't need to have that in order to create pleasure in your body. What you need to understand is some things you can fix, some things you can't fix. Move forward in your life because this surgery is actually insane. Okay. So, I'm not laughing at him. I'm just laughing at the concept. Now, I know some of you have no idea maybe what this guy's talking about. So I found this video, which I think will help for you to understand a little bit more.
This is a penile implant, identical to the one that I got last week. And I know you're all dying to hear about how it works. It has three main parts: the cylinder, the pump bulb, and the reservoir. This guy sits between your pelvic bone and your bladder and is where the saline sits when you're not using the cylinder. They take the cylinder and attach this part with heavy-duty sutures to your pelvic bone. As your body heals, it produces scar tissue around to really anchor that into place, which is why it's so important when you're healing to take it easy and not do anything that could weaken the anchor site, like running, squats, gymnastics. I don't know. You just want to be really, really careful. This is the pump bulb, and this sits in the scrotum. When you want to use it, you squeeze it here, and when you want to deflate, you push this button above. I really need to get new glasses.
No shade, friend, but scar tissue? And like, what? There's no way this can last in your life forever. I bet you, because we don't really know, we do not know the outcome of these in, let's say, 10 years of having this in your body. This is a foreign object in your body, in your genital area. We don't have research because this is all very new. These things are actually made for men. They're not made for trans men. They're made for men, and now they're using them in trans male genital surgery called phalloplasty. I think this one is called RFF, like radial forearm flap, which I'm going to show you what that means. But I'm really concerned with what happens later on when it's not working for you. So this is the same guy, okay? After I guess he got the surgery. Watch this.
My name's Kai, and I got my sword last year. I'm a knight! I had stage 1 RFF phalloplasty with Dr. Chen and Dr. Watt in San Francisco exactly 1 year and 10 days ago. And these are a few things that I just didn't expect. I think the thing that I was most scared of was the suprapubic catheter, because it goes through your abdominal wall, and I'm just queasy. It just freaked me out. I was scared. But that actually didn't end up being that big of a deal for me. I couldn't really feel it most of the time. I did not have bladder spasms. In the beginning, I could just sit on the couch for hours and just stay hydrated, and my fiance would just empty my bag for me, and I never had to move. So like, that was kind of clutch. What was not clutch was having it for 5.5 months, which leads me to the next thing. I was really not mentally prepared to have a complication, which is my bad because complications are extremely common. I just thought I was going to be able to beat it. I'm a super active person, so I was exercising regularly.
Okay, so another complication, okay, and another situation, and now you have to have a colostomy bag for 5 months. Because are you prepared for this? Because he said I wasn't prepared for it. Are you actually prepared to do all these things to your body and have all of this stuff in your body while you are recovering? And then what is the recovery process? Wondering if you're prepared for this.
Hey everyone, I guess it's time for another arm update. Look at that scar. It is healing so well. Between physical therapy, the products that I've been putting on it, and just the consistency, paying attention, it's really coming around. I've got great mobility, slim to no pain. And look at this. Here in a second, I'm going to clap my hands. Yeah, no pain, snap my fingers, the things I can do.
By the way, that scar never goes away. Never goes away. So you have a ripped, huge, again, it's your choice. I get it. As an adult, it is your choice. But are these things that you're prepared for in the next part of your life? To have all of these things, what happened to your arm? What happened to your arm? What happened to your arm? Which is going to keep replaying to you. It's why when we transitioned back in the day, which it should be, we transitioned so that none of these things showed, so that you could just go into I can go to the beach with my shirt off, run around. No one ever knows anything, okay? My bottom half, yeah, but I don't go around showing it on the beach or anywhere else. And if I do, I'm prepared to have that conversation. But are you actually prepared to have the conversation that you had penis surgery? That's why your forearm looks like that?
Y'all, it's been a while. So, I don't think I have let you guys know, but I have another repair surgery coming up, which is a bummer, but it is what it is, because I really, truly am still really happy with my decision to move forward with RFF Phalloplasty that I did in April, but I have had fistula complications, so I had a repair surgery in August. I'm going to have a repair surgery on November 22nd. Hopefully that'll be the last of my repair surgeries, but the exciting thing about this next one is that Dr. Chen, my surgeon, has agreed to roll in a glandsplasty into this repair, so when I come out, the little guy is going to have a little hood. But keep tuned in, like my page, comment, ask questions. I'm happy to answer any.
I notice it's Dr. Chin already did a couple of these, okay? So he must be the new doctor that's doing all of this stuff to these guys, okay? So he's excited to go into his surgery. Like, there's a lot of stuff here that I want to sort of address. And, you know, when you are transitioning and you're looking forward to getting these things, like I was actually looking forward to getting my top surgery. But I'm going to say top surgery is not the same as bottom surgery. There is not a huge amount of complications. You pretty much recover from it and move on with your life. I have noticed watching a lot of these that these guys are in and out with complications, and then they pretend like there's no way anyone's okay with 7 complications, 3 complications, you're back in the hospital. There's no way. If any of you out there have ever had surgery or had to go, it sucks. It's horrifying. It puts your whole life back. So that's why I told you that I wanted to do this, because I feel like these guys are not being so super honest. They kind of have to be stealth in this way that says, I'm okay with it. I'm happy with it. When, you know what? What if you're not happy with it? What if you're not happy with it? So that segues into my friend Scott Nugent, who had bottom surgery way before these guys did. And this is what he says.
My name's Scott Nugent, and I'm a transgender man that fell for the lie that somehow altering my body to look male would make my life better. Well, fast forward years after the bottom surgery. This is what remains. I get infections all the time and will continue to do so until the day that I die. You see, no child should be subject to gender butchery, and that's what it is, because I've done it. But if we stop childhood medical transition in California, we stop it for the entire United States of America and maybe even worldwide. I ask that you please donate today to protectkidsca.com and stop the butchery of childhood medical transition today.
You know what I think is so interesting? There's people all over the internet in the trans community who say they're not doing this to children, right? Which is complete, total lie and bullshit, because I'm not sure about the bottom surgery, but they are 100% doing the top surgery on young kids. And how do I know this? Oh, well, let me just read this to you. Putting numbers on the rise in children seeking gender care. And this was done in 2022. I'm just going to scroll down. I'll put a link to this because it's a great article, okay? And then people are saying they're not doing it to they're not doing surgery to minors, right? But right here it says top surgery. U.S. patients ages 13 to 17 undergoing mastectomy with a prior gender dysphoria diagnosis. Okay, 2019, 238, 2020, 256, 2021, 282. Those are kids between the ages of 13 and 17, okay? The ultimate step in gender-affirming medical treatment is surgery, which is uncommon in patients under 18. Really? Some children's hospitals and gender clinics don't offer surgery to minors, requiring that they be adults before deciding on procedures that are irreversible. Yes, some, very few. The Komodo analysis of insurance claims found 56 genital surgeries among patients ages 13 to 17. This is Reuters, okay? With a prior gender dysphoria diagnosis from 2019 to 2021. Among teens, top surgery to remove breasts is more common. In the 3 years ending in 2021, at least 776 mastectomies were performed in the United States on patients ages 13 to 17 with gender dysphoria diagnosis. Stop saying they're not doing it to minors. 13 to 17 is a minor. 13? So, you know, the fact that they lie makes me even more upset because it means they're hiding something or they want something to be hidden. I don't want anything to be hidden, okay? Because when you hide shit, it comes back to bite you in the ass.
What's going on? It's your boy Nico. So somebody asked a question. Once you completely heal, is the chance of necrosis over with? No. So if you wear tight underwear and you lose blood flow down there, it could still die. If you wear tight pants and you lose blood flow down there, it could still die.
Wow.
So I would be very cautious with your new tool that you have in your pants because it can still die. If you get an infection and it's not treated in time, you know it could still die. So yeah, your stages of necrosis that's really hard or really worrisome is in the beginning, obviously, because you're healing. But as you heal, you still have to be wary and pay attention to how you still function, because if there's no blood flow, it will die.
Oh my God. I'm not laughing. I'm actually like blown away. It can still die, which I know people who've had that problem and had to get it removed completely after all those surgeries. Okay. I even know a guy who got gangrene down there. So what are you talking about? Like, what? So basically, if you wear tight underwear it has to always have blood flow because it's not natural. It can literally just lose blood and become a dead piece of meat and you have to chop it off. Still worth it? Still worth it?
I'm out of surgery, out of recovery. We did the damn thing. The surgery went a little longer than it was supposed to, but we fixed. Just wanted to update y'all guys.
Oh my God. Oh my.
I hope everybody's having a good night. And yeah, I'll be up and at 'em pretty soon, but I'm so glad this got fixed. I'll probably tell you in more detail like what happened and how he did it tomorrow or something, because I'm still groggy. And I woke up like emotional, like just crying to be crying out of anesthesia, so I'm not really, you know, fun times. The pain, it's there, but not like it was. So we're just gonna be healing, and I'll keep y'all updated. Thank you guys.
Another complication. I feel sad for these guys, man. They're just going through it hard. This is not fun. What part of your transition are you actually moving forward and having a good time? This guy I've seen before. Like, what? How many complications do you have to have? I really don't understand how these surgeries are even happening. I just don't. I understand they're adults and they're able to do this, but I just don't understand how this is. Listen to this.
You know what's like incredibly disappointing to see, honestly, in the trans community? Whenever I see a creator, for example, talking about phalloplasty or matoidoplasty or whatever, there's bound to be quite a lot of comments in the comment section that's basically like saying something along the lines of, oh, phalloplasty looks just like a meat tube, blah blah blah. Well, matoidoplasty is not like big enough, whatever. Like, since when was it okay to be just dissing somebody else's body like that? Because that's attached to their body. That's a part of somebody's body. It's genuinely so disappointing to see it being so normalized to be able to just critique someone's body that they can't change. But also, like, the finished results of matoidoplasty and phalloplasty, it's not like the surgical photos you see on Google. Surgical results can look very natural. You just don't Google it, go on Reddit or something, go look for it, and genuinely, like, stop shaming people's bodies for...
Oh, really? Well, first off, buddy, when you put it on the internet, you're open to any critique. I don't know why you're even saying that. Secondly, everyone has an opinion on the internet. So if you're dumb enough to put yourself on TikTok talking about your meat tube, then you're open to it. That's just how communities work, by the way. It's not just the trans community. Every community eats each other alive. It's the reality of it. So deal with it. Don't put your meat tube on the internet and expect people just to be like, woohoo, yay, because that's not how it's going to work, okay? So I wanted to show you that because there are two types of surgeries. If you don't understand the two that I'm talking about, they're FTM, female to male bottom surgeries. One is called phalloplasty, okay? Radial front forearm, RFF or whatever. Phalloplasty creates a penis and urethra to stand while urinating. As we know, huge complications in the urethra area. Most of these guys those are the complications. We use tissue from your forearm or thigh. We do this in 2 stages, though I've been seeing a lot of guys saying they're having 7 stages, okay? Then mediatoidoplasty takes your existing genital tissue and makes it longer, turning it into a defined phallus. This needs only 1 surgery. And I know more guys who've had that surgery than the top surgery. So I think the second surgery has less complications than the one that actually creates a big phallus.
The haters think it's a flex to be like, you're biologically a woman. Right. If I wasn't, I wouldn't be trans.
Wow, somebody actually admitted it. I wanted to throw that in there because, oh, really? The haters don't think that. If you all in the trans community would stop calling yourself, I'm a man, I was assigned female at birth, I'm not a woman. It's you guys creating that shit. Okay, so stop acting like the haters. It's not haters. It's people who live in reality. And if you guys would just be honest about being female, nobody would say that to you. And getting a penis doesn't make you a man, by the way, just so you know. My God.
Hey friends, I wanted to check in and explain why I've been a little quieter on here than usual. I'm currently in Texas, healing from my second phalloplasty surgery. Yes, you heard that right. It is a second one, even though there are stages. Really, mine should have been kind of all in one.
Should have been.
But the surgery was to finish the procedure, what should have been all in one, which would have been the vaginectomy, scrotoplasty, phalloplasty, urethral lengthening. It was supposed to all be in one. But during my first surgery in March, I woke up from the anesthesia, did not have a phallus. Due to a complication with blood flow.
A complication with blood flow again. My God, what? Like, I'm just going to show you. They're just all have complications. Yet there they are. Oh, I was supposed to be done with the surgery, but now I'm in my 200th surgery. I'm going to get this thing to work. I swear I am. I'm going to get it to work. Like, give up. Like, what? I hope people really see this who are even thinking about getting phallo, because I'm telling you right now, man, you are going to be in for a big surprise when you do this. So I want to show you this if you're not understanding what radial forearm phalloplasty is, okay? So I'll just put all this up here. It talks about exactly what it is. This is it. It just talks about the stages and all of that. And you'll see the graft here and what they do to the forearm, okay? And you have to remove the hair, because if you don't remove the hair from the forearm, bad things can happen, like this.
When I had the surgery, they found 6 inches of hair I can send you pictures to on the inside of my urethra. So if you think of, use the wrong skin or whatever.
What?
Anyway, the guy needs to be disbarred, truly.
Dude, I mean, guys, he needs to be in jail. Forget disbarred. What? There was hair in the urethra. So, what? So they didn't even do any electrolysis or whatever they do to get the hair growth. How did that happen?
Well, that's an interesting story because they sent something to me about doing the electrolysis, and something inside me, didn't want to do the surgery.
Okay.
And so I didn't do the electrolysis, and I called him about 3 weeks beforehand. I'm like, I haven't done the electrolysis. I probably should, postpone this or whatever. And the nurse got back to me and said, oh, the doctor said that's okay. I was like,
wow.
Okay.
Dude. Wow.
I mean, I'm not a doctor.
So, yeah, there it is. I did an interview with Scott. I'll also put the link there so you can watch it. He's really a good guy, and it's very important that he speaks up about the doctor literally said you don't need to do it. But if you go to the website, it says you have to do it. So there's these wingnut doctors again that I keep trying to expose to you all, okay? So I just want to show you this real quick here because Phalloplasty, San Francisco Phalloplasty surgeon, now with 8 malpractice suits. This is the doctor that Scott NEWGENT went to. And he has 8 malpractice suits. And he ended up losing his license in California. And guess what he did? Dr. Crane. He opened a clinic in Texas. Just so you know, you can lose your license in California, go to another state, open up, get a license in another state, and open up a clinic there. Did you know that? I mean, what? What? How do you not lose your license right across the board to never practice medicine again when you do stuff like that to people? It's shocking. I don't understand our medical system. I'm really blown away. I'm going to leave you with these last two. This one I felt to be very, very important.
Number one reason is something I think that a lot of people don't talk about is their elderly years. Their elderly years. And for me, I've worked with geriatrics for the past 14 years of my life as a nurse. And what I've saw over the years is that the number one reason for, death in elderly people or just complications is normally through your urinary tract. People get UTIs, they become confused, they end up with sepsis, and they end up dying from an extreme infection. Not saying that's the case for everybody, but that happens more often than a lot of people would know. And as I think about surgery, I think about my future, I really think about, what it entails for me to have that surgery and the urethra lengthening. Just the whole switch up of surgery down there makes me concerned that as I get older, that sphincter won't be as strong, and then I may end up with more complications down the line. Which is also another reason why I don't want Phallo, because there's just way too many complications around having Phallo, and those complications are just too much for my life. Now, a lot of
See, no one's talking about that because I'm too old, Buck. Sit down and shut up. Like, I'm 33 plus years in this thing. I don't have any complications. I don't have any health problems. I have none of what this guy is telling you you will have when you get older, when you're dealing with your phalloplasty. Okay, is it actually worth it? Really? Seriously? Do you want to live long and have a great life, or do you want to live because you really needed to get this phalloplasty and 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 like complications in and out of the, or this one, this guy right here. This one breaks my heart. I did a whole video on this guy right here.
Is a little more experimental than he's led people to believe.
I'm really glad that a video like this exists, and I highly recommend you go watch the whole video on Liam's account too. I feel like a lot of the time with phalloplasty we tend to focus mainly on the physical and the visual results that a surgeon can give us, when we should equally be focusing on the transparency and the honesty of these doctors when it comes to how they perform their procedures and how they handle complications with current patients as well as past patients. If I could relive the past year of my Phallo recovery, I would not go to the same surgeon that I ended up going to, because their aftercare was reprehensible and their transparency ended up not being true at all. Throughout consults, my surgery team insisted on a 40 to 50% rate for post-op complications, but closer to 90 to 95% of their patients have had issues.
90 to 95. First they say if there's only a 40 to 50% chance of complications, but when it's really 90 to 95, he said. By the way, this kid passed away, young person. They passed away. I did a whole video, which I'll post there as well. It's so sad. This guy was dealing so many complications, so many problems, not getting any help. It just got worse and worse and worse and worse. It's a very, very, I highlighted on the channel because it just blows my mind. So I wanted to end with that, as well as I was looking to see what the regret rate was for phalloplasty, right? And if there is, okay, I wrote, are there any detransitioners who have RFF phalloplasty? And it came back with yes. Individuals who detransition after a radial forearm free flap phalloplasty exist, and there are discussions about their experiences and the challenges involved in detransitioning from such a significant surgical procedure. Detransitioning after phalloplasty is a complex and substantial process, as the surgery permanently being the key word, alters anatomy by using a skin graft from the forearm to construct a neophallus. It is not a matter of simply reversing the procedure to original anatomy. So basically, you're shit out of luck. You're never going back to having vagina, okay? You're never going back to having what you had. It's why you better think before you move forward on something like this. And I just am blown away by the trans man community hiding this stuff on some level. It took me a lot to go and try to even find people. They're not talking about it because they don't want to talk about it, because people just go after them if they even say, I had top surgery at 13, and I just saw a post saying, no, you didn't. No doctor would ethically give top surgery at 13. And Reuters right there telling you that there are 778 top surgeries between the ages of 13 and 17. You're going to believe the trans activists, or are you going to believe Reuters and news and actual studies? So the trans community doesn't care. They do not care about moving forward. They do not care about the long-term health of us, okay? And they don't care about the elders who have set a sort of standard so that we could create a healthy space for us to move forward. They care about something else. TikTok. That's what they care about. And being liked and being a part of some crazy... Mark my words. The detransition rate is going to skyrocket in the next 5 years. I keep telling you that. And we're going to have a bunch of young girls with top surgery scars. I don't know how many with phalloplasty. Can you imagine detransitioning and then you have a phalloplasty? I mean, just the thought of that is horrific, horrific. So I just want to say thank you so much for subscribing, hitting the subscribe button, and really supporting the channel. It means a lot to me. And baby girl, wow, I don't know, I'm so exhausted. Baby girl, she woke up at 1:30. Usually she sleeps from like 10 o'clock at night till like 6 in the morning, right? I'm lucky, but last night she was 1:30 in the morning, then 5:30 in the morning. I'm like, I took a nap after my partner got up, and I took a nap till 8, and I feel a little bit crazy, but anyway, I just want to give you an update. I guess that's the ups and downs of having a baby girl. Majority of the time, baby girl is solid, and she's totally on it. She just had one of those nights. So thanks for all the love, everybody, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.